Hamdallah! So I wanted to come up and just talk about the differences of perspective. So I think some of you still got confused a little bit when I was talking about let me just clarify it. Let me just clarify. There's a difference between asking and seeking justice and doing revenge, getting revenge, or expressing or exercising revenge. And one of the differences is really easy and simple to understand, because when we're talking about justice, we're talking about principle of Maat, of balance, of a wrong being done that's going to be having some consequences for the wrongdoer as well as the person that has been wronged. And the whole energy and motion where we live is about balance. So whenever there's something wrong going on, the energies are going to seek to balance that out. When there is a void, things are going to come to fill it up. When things are going to fill up somewhere, it's leaving a void. So there's always emotion going on, and there's always balance or movement towards balance. And that's the natural order of things. Now, when we're talking about revenge, we're talking about wanting to get back at somebody for whatever has been done to you. And while it may sound, people will say, well, revenge is pretty much, if somebody's done something wrong to you, revenge, you're entitled to revenge. And people who think like that basically do not understand the difference between justice and revenge. And to me, a big portion of the difference lies in the proportionality of the retaliation, okay? And because when you're seeking justice, you're seeking to be compensated, you may be seeking to be restituted something, to be put back in the place where you were before, or that there is some type of consequences to the wrongdoer, but that is proportional to the wrong that was done to you, so that you reestablish the balance. When you're talking about seeking revenge, however, you're not necessarily talking about balance. You could be talking about harming the person so much that, even getting more out of it, but even taking away from that person. And so it's really important that in your mind, those kind of things are clear, especially if you are some of those people who want to get into hexing and this kind of things. You have to understand the proportionality of things. And this is why sometimes I will tell you, you don't know what you're doing, leave that to people who are seasoned. Go seek out somebody who knows what they're doing, because the consequences of that, of you going, not applying the adequate proportion, is that you setting something else in motion that's going to come for you. Through many form or inner forms. Sometimes you're not even going to be aware of what and when. So it's very important to take that in consideration, especially if you don't have that notion and you don't know the difference. You may, even though you don't know the difference, you may actually resort to something that's leveled because you are seeking balance. But when you're wrapped up in a situation, you have your emotions going and flowing, and especially if you don't master your emotions yet, you may just go overboard, do all kind of things that are not necessary, and call other things onto yourself. So that's why sometimes I really try to push you to think critically. Emotions are very useful. They help us know what we need to pay attention to. They help us know our triggers. They help us know ourselves better. But it's very, very important that you learn where they're coming from, why they're there, and to use them in a way that is going to be beneficial for yourself. Meaning, it's most of the time you shouldn't just take action while you're in the midst of your emotions. You should always take some step back, analyze the situation, calm down, let the emotion pass, let it express in a way that is not destructive, so you can have a sense of of calmness and quiet to see exactly where it's coming from and how you be better, so that you're in a better position to decide what you want to do, what action you want to take. And that will also give you the time to calm down, to assess the different alternatives that are before you. And I think that's something that's not being really spoken about, especially in conversation about hexing, when people just say, you know, they want to do whatever they want. Of course, anyone here can do whatever you want. And this is why there are some universal laws in place, because the universe knows that people will do whatever they want regardless. So don't be fooled. There are some powers at play that ensure that balance will be restituted, will be put back in place. Whenever there's a small shift going on, something else is going to be put in motion to reestablish order, to reestablish balance, and that never fails. You can see sometimes it may take centuries, it may take different things in order to reestablish balance, but it's always coming, it's always there. At least in the times we're living in right now, and in those days anyways. So in these days and in this dimension, basically. So I really want you to sit with that. I don't like to discourage people into what they really feel like they want to explore, but it's good to know how to protect yourself and all that stuff, and that will be the next video after this one. But it is also important for you to understand what you are doing and the consequences of your actions. When people talk about karma as karma is not there to punish you. Karma is not there like the devil or something like that, humping on your back and things like that. My perception of karma is there to teach you and to help you grow and to help you expand. And by being aware of karma, you become more aware of your own consequences, the consequences of your own actions, the consequences of your thoughts and your deeds. And by being aware of that, you are in a better position to make decisions. Whether you want to take a course of actions, understanding the consequences, the potential consequences, and also assessing what consequences you are ready to face, because you find that the benefits you will get from it will be good enough. So it is, to me, karma is a tool. It's a tool that's there to assist you until you finally understand, because most people don't understand that their action have consequences and the impact of their action. That's why you have people who repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again until they hit rock bottom and started figuring out that they have to take a different course with their life or a different course of action. To me, karma is nothing to be fearful of or scared of. When you take the time to understand what is actually at play, and to maybe move away from the notion of good and bad and just assess that whatever you're doing will have a consequence. So it becomes much easier to then think about what kind of consequences you want to bring upon yourself. You want to get to yourself. It has nothing to do with the law of attraction. It's really about just you realizing your own place in the universe and your own purpose and what you can contribute in this whole process, and the experiences that you want to have and that you want to maybe have more of, and that you want to seek, basically. Of course, there's always going to be things that will be out of your control, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be here. It would be pretty boring, I think, if we could control everything. But there are certain experiences that you can call onto yourself to, make this experience more enjoyable, make this journey more enjoyable. So, and I know some people refuse to grow up. They will much rather stay in La La Land and speak, of light and love always, all the time, or just pretend that that they actually can do whatever. So the same way that there are things that you won't be able to manipulate, because maybe I should I'll discuss this in this video. There are many things that we're able to do. Some of us have a lot of abilities, a lot of capabilities to speak with certain entities, to call certain things to ourselves, to view certain things in the past, in the future, in the present, to experience certain things. However, there are certain things that we are not able to control. Even sometimes you may want, even though you have abilities, you may want to have a specific vision about somebody in a certain place, and it just doesn't work like that. Sometimes the thing will come to you, information will come to you when you're not even asking for it, when sometimes you don't even want to know about it. So there is this little, I wouldn't say a glitch, but there is this little thing that's unknown, that is always there, and that we cannot manipulate. It's like what people call the source, the creator, the most high, cannot be manipulated. So there's always going to be some form of life and some form of element in our life that we cannot manipulate, no matter what we do, no matter how much you study alchemy and other things. Don't be fooled, there are certain things that you're not going to be able to change and morph. And I can assure you, whoever told you that you could manipulate everything, just ask them, why don't they create a different planet? Why don't they just stop all the chemtrails and all the different things? So it's simplistic to say that we can do everything. We can't. But in the latitude of what we can do, there's a lot of things to explore, but you just have to keep in mind that you cannot control and manipulate everything. That's just impossible. And I mean, anyways, if you focus on the thing that you can do or the thing that you want to expand on yourself, I think that's plenty enough to go around. So to get back to this topic at hand, really, if you're angry, somebody done something to you, or you're desperate, really think about what you are trying to achieve or what you're looking for. Are you trying to seek justice, or are you trying to seek revenge? Thank you for being with me, and I'll see you in the next. Bye-bye.